Welcome to another explainer from Ming Guide. Today we're tackling a massive question. How do you even begin to rebuild a nation after a war? We're going to dive into a pretty unique strategic forecast from Master Ming that cuts right through the noise on Ukraine's reconstruction. So let's start with the big headline number, $500 billion. Wow, that's the amount being pledged to rebuild Ukraine. It's this huge symbol of hope, right? A monumental figure for a monumental task. But, according to Master Ming, if you look just behind that number, the reality is, well, it's a lot more complicated. And here's why. The fighting you see on the news, that's only half the story. According to Master Ming, there's a second war happening right now. It's not fought with weapons. It's a non-kinetic war, fought against corruption, blockades, and just logistical nightmares, all trying to stop this money from ever reaching the people who need it. Okay, so if there's this hidden battlefield, how on earth do you navigate it? Well, according to Master Ming, you can't use a normal map. You need a special kind of tool, one that can actually show you these invisible forces at play. And that tool is called Chi Min Dunja. Now, don't worry about the name and forget any ideas about crystal balls or anything like that. The best way to think about it is like an MRI for a really complex problem. Master Ming uses it to see the hidden structures, the stress points. It basically reveals where the real bottlenecks are before they even happen. It's pretty amazing. All right, so check this out. Here's how Master Ming maps the battlefield. First, you've got Ding. That's essentially the good guys, Ukraine and the Western donors. Then you've got Gang. Think of Gang as the adversary. It's all the corruption, the blockades, the red tape. And finally, and this one is super important, you have emptiness. This represents hollow promises, money that's pledged but never arrives. These three are the key players. Okay, so our map is laid out, the players are on the board. So what's the first big reveal from Master Ming's forecast? Well, it all revolves around something he calls shadow channels. And right off the bat, the first conclusion is a bit of a shocker. According to Master Ming, we should not expect radical transparency in how this money is spent, at least not at first. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds pretty bad. But stick with me, because the reason for it is actually fascinating. It all comes back to that first symbol we talked about, Ding. See, in this system, Ding doesn't just represent the donors. It also carries this energy of what's called the Jade Maiden, which is all about hidden channels and behind-the-scenes negotiations. So what does that mean? The forecast is crystal clear. To get around the massive corruption, that Zheng force, the funds are going to have to flow through covert, non-public agreements. It's not perfect, but it's apparently the only way to get things moving. So, okay, that explains how some money might get through. But what about the places that have been hit the hardest, the places that needed the most? This is where we get to the second, and honestly more troubling part of Master Ming's forecast. He calls it the hollow recovery. You know, the promise, the hope, is to rebuild the devastated North and East. That's what everyone wants to see. But the forecast from Master Ming, it points to a much starker reality here. A hollow recovery, one that's going to be hit with severe delays. And the reason why is heartbreakingly simple. Remember that third symbol, emptiness? According to Master Ming's chart, the most devastated regions fall right into that zone. What that means is even if the money is there, it literally cannot land. We're talking total logistical paralysis. Think about it. Unexploded mines, destroyed bridges, no roads. The promises are there, but for right now, they're just empty. There's no physical way to turn that cash into concrete. So let's put all the pieces together. What's the core takeaway here? What's the final judgment from Master Ming's analysis? Here it is, the bottom line according to Master Ming. The structural blockades and that regional emptiness are going to force this whole reconstruction effort into two completely different tracks. You'll have one track using covert channels to get things done where it's possible, but, and this is the tragic part, the most devastated eastern regions are going to be left vulnerable, stuck in a delayed and hollow recovery. That is the real challenge ahead. You know, seeing these hidden dynamics is absolutely crucial if you want to understand the full picture beyond the headlines. If you want to dive deeper and explore more strategic forecasts like this from Master Ming, head on over to www.mingguide. Thanks so much for tuning in.